first round pick.
Focus,
Hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around? Let's
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From Mahomes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
From the baby
Chiefs
himself.
Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MVS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
All righty, welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com. I am your host, Nick Athan, along with Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, and of course, Coach Andre Tillman. It's Monday. I haven't got my voice yet. What's up, gentlemen? How was your weekend? Everybody have a good one?
Absolutely. Did you?
Great weekend.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Arguably one of the I guess, most uninteresting sports weekends of the year. If you're a fan of a certain sport, which I'm assuming most of the people watching this show are, just not a lot going on. I mean, basketball's over. Caitlin Clark's out. But I did watch the other night. Paige Buckets did her thing. Dallas isn't that great, so Indiana still won the game. But yeah, I mean,
Dallas, don't try to sneak that in there. Talking about Dallas, we know they're not that great, but
they're not. But they've been beat up too. They've got some players that are injured as well. But between Enrique, I won't disrespect her and mess up her last name. And Paige Beckers, I mean, they can score, right? It's just they don't have the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They get JJ some more playing time, then they'll be.
You ain't talking about playing time, man. Hey,
she's really small, but yeah, she plays her heart out. So she's
just like you, Andre. As
they say about it's a motion in the ocean.
They say about, but with that said,
let's had to keep on floating.
Yeah, just not a lot going on. I mean, unless you're into something like the fringe sports, it was a rough watch over the weekend with sports. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying.
Yes, it was.
Well, training camp right around the corner, gentlemen. So. Hey,
training camp, and you got a lot. If you're a wrestling fan, a lot of people enjoy the night of the
Night of Champions, man. When it was a beautiful pay-per-view. Also, guys, it's in Saudi Arabia. With the whole war going on, they risk their lives to entertain you, gentlemen. So we gotta give big ups to the WWE for doing that. Man.
It's a different country. The war's in Iran, but okay,
that's all right. He wasn't a political science major. It's okay.
That's all right.
So with that said, let's get right to our sponsor, Underdog. Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the Pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball, and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right. Underdog Fantasy has been a sponsor of us since the end of last season of the Chiefs. We appreciate them. Hey, we make it really simple around here to get your account signed up and start playing this amazing high-low game. All you got to do is scan the QR code on the right, use the promo code Chiefs Blitz, deposit $5, play $5, you get $50 in bonus dollars. You can bet on you can play the game on MLB, WNBA, kind of a little low right now, no NBA, no NHL, but the preseason football will be here in about 5 weeks. So you have some opportunities to get back into the swing of football. What's that?
I said, that's crazy. Going to be here right around,
Five
right
weeks.
around the corner.
I think the Hall of Fame game, I don't know who's playing this year, but it kicks off, I think, the first weekend of August, where my buddy Jared Allen will be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Good guy, good dude, a lot of fun. Some of the best memories that I ever had during my Warpaint Illustrated days were with Jared Allen and Boomer Grigsby. Oh, my goodness.
Coach, you got it like a deal with whatever's on your hat there? I mean, you're giving them a lot of FaceTime.
I'm getting them a lot of love. You know, I'm a big turtle guy, big Ninja Turtle guy, gentlemen. Big Leo guy for the Ninja Turtles. Man.
Cool. Yeah. There's a good shot of the hat there for a while. So
I wasn't really, you know, I'm the hat guy, so you know what I'm saying. I'm always trying to promote. You know what I'm saying?
So what they said, I woke up to what we all seen some news today that you know, Jalen Ramsey going over there to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then I you know, a crazy trade. I said you would trade Jalen Ramsey for Ryan Fitzpatrick. For Fitzpatrick, I never did that. You know what I mean? I never, you know, he's one of the best safeties in the league. You know, he like his scale is going up higher, and you know, Jalen Ramsey is doing this, so I did that.
It was got a top tight end too.
Jalen Ramsey might be. He might go to safety though. He might go to safety.
It doesn't matter. He sucks.
He might play safety. He sucks.
He sucks.
What you mean, Jalen sucks?
He sucks. This version of Jalen Ramsey is not a good football player.
There's the concise
He's the most hyped
football analysis that our fans are looking for.
There you go.
Sucks.
He is the most overhyped cornerback in NFL history. He was great for hold on. He was great for Jacksonville for a few years, and then he didn't do shit. Nothing.
Take your time, Lou. Take your time.
Nothing. He's not that good. He's been a pain in the ass for everywhere he's gone. You know, he's not the shutdown corner that he used to be. I'm sorry. This is desperation by the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're going all in because they got Aaron Rodgers for 1 year. And now they're talking about trading J.J. Watt. I mean, seriously.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I was looking at it kind of side-eyed as well, but I guess you dig a little bit deeper. Is Minkah Fitzpatrick's? I mean, if you want to go by numbers in terms of coverage, what maybe his standing in the locker room had become. I reached out to my Pittsburgh folks just to say, hey, what's going on here, and that was kind of the feedback that I got. But the other piece of it is that if they're feeling like Minkah Fitzpatrick he has kind of topped out, and perhaps his next contract, they don't want to pay the top of the safety scale. Sure. Let's go ahead and make that deal now. As far as Jalen Ramsey goes, I do not share the opinion of my esteemed colleague here that he sucks. He's still a damn good corner in this league, and I think put him in the right defense, a lot like what Fangio was doing. I think he's going to be a very good addition for this team. And if you're just kind of maybe swapping one out, Coach alluded to it, playing him a little bit at safety, a lot in nickel. You've got Joey Porter, you've got Slay there now. So there's a lot more to this. And of course, Arthur Smith gets his little chess piece, and Jonnu Smith that they were rumored as trying to sign in free agency earlier in the offseason. So it's not nearly as bad as I guess it looks on the surface, or whatever your feelings might be about Jalen Ramsey. So I think Omar Khan, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? I mean, he's kind of changing the way the Steelers do business in some way. And I'm sure he's got full confidence of ownership. So he's not just going off the handle here trying to figure things out. And Rodgers is only getting about $10 or $12 million guaranteed. He can earn as much as like $18 million. So as far as the money's concerned, I think they're in good shape. Actually, I think this will work out well for them. I don't know. They're not going to trade TJ Watt. Whoever's posting that stuff.
Yeah, who posted
there today?
Who posted that trash?
I think it's probably a lot of clickbait and whatever. He's probably going to end up being the highest paid pass rusher, maybe as much as what Myles Garrett is getting. So anyway, I don't agree with the fact that Jalen Ramsey sucks. I think he's still a damn good player. Is he worth what they're paying him? That's debatable, but he signed that contract. It's still on the books. So if you trade for him, you got to pay him. So I think this will work out.
Guys in the bar say he sucks, then he sucks.
Who said he sucks? I never said he sucks, sir. So you gonna change it?
Hey, it was me. No. Hey,
suck.
hey, you know what? The one guy who's so excited about this. Okay, you know who's the most excited about this is Jamar Chase. Every week it just gets better and better. And a picture of him torching Ramsey when he was in a Rams uniform. So
yeah.
I'm telling you, this is a stupid trade. I get why they did it, but they also increased Ramsey's pay. The tight end got a raise. It's all 1 year stuff. They're all in. They think they can compete in that division against the Ravens and the Bengals, and it's going to be tough.
And if you were a fan of that team, why would you not say that's cool? We're going all in. We're going to try to win.
No, hey, God love them for doing it. I mean, listen, I'm not going to disrespect the fact that they're going all in, but I don't know if you go all in with. I mean, losing Fitzpatrick to me is huge. I mean, obviously they traded for him from Miami, so he's going back there. He can't be real happy about that either.
Right.
But I think Mike Tomlin has gotten a free pass in every year of his career. And if he doesn't win with this group and the pressure that's on him, I think when teams make desperate moves, I think it makes it really difficult for them to be successful. So I think this makes them a better team on paper. I don't know how they're going to interact and how that's going to change the hierarchy in the division, to be honest with you. But
Nick just came out and said he's trash. He don't care what nobody else is saying. He's done. He said Jalen Ramsey. Well, if you kind of look at it, Nick is kind of right. Jalen Ramsey ain't been that same guy since he left Jacksonville.
He hasn't.
He hasn't been that same guy. A lot of people debating on his name, right? The name Jalen Ramsey when he was in Jacksonville. Then he went to this team, that team, but shoot, you know what I mean?
Overhyped.
Travis
Kelce beat him like a drum a few years ago. Give me a break.
So y'all wouldn't take Jalen Ramsey in the kingdom?
No, not a chance in hell.
All I'm saying is this: Jalen Ramsey.
Really?
They sent. I wouldn't say now. I'll be okay if they kept Jalen Ramsey. They got Jalen Ramsey and they kept Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been good. I would have been said, okay, all good.
Okay, all good. You're gonna move Slay in the nickel. You got your Porter on the outside. You got Ramsey on the outside. You got a key safety in the backfield. But when I looked at the rest of the trade, I said, "You sent Fitzpatrick out the door over Jalen Ramsey."
So you got Slay. So you got Slay.
How about we look at it this way? Who do you think knows more about where Minkah Fitzpatrick is playing wise? Mike Tomlin and the coaches that are with him every day, or us?
Mike Tomlin ain't been a great coach since Ben Roethlisberger. Mike Tomlin ain't been a great coach.
Man.
I hear what you're saying, and you could say I think you could say the same thing about Minkah Fitzpatrick, because he is kind of living a lot off of his name and his previous play.
Right.
Where I think, why else would they trade him?
Mm-hmm.
Because he probably want to be there no more. He want to be on a contender team.
They don't want.
Miami ain't going to
him.
Do it for him. So I don't think he really had any say in it. I think that was just maybe who Miami wanted back, and they're looking at. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, you can say what you will about PFF numbers and whatever. I mean, there was his play has certainly declined. I talked to some of my. You want to call them sources, you want to call them fans, whatever. Guys that I know that watch the Steelers pretty intently, like every year. Yeah. And they're telling me that they were feeling like Minkah's play was falling off. So,
but you know what though? But you know what, guys? They got Slade.
Wait till they watch Ramsey play.
They got Porter. Now they got Ramsey. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers going to really work Ramsey into their defense because he's going to be a hybrid guy. He can play safety now. He can play a little bit corner. They going to work him into the defense, man. I like the move what Pittsburgh did. I like he got a veteran out there that knows what he needs to do. He still can get physical. You know what I'm saying? He ain't slow. But he's slow. He's slow
compared to what he used to be.
I'm disappointed in the kingdom, and y'all say y'all wouldn't take Ramsey.
Okay, so let me put it to you this way. So if Ramsey is that player again,
right,
and he prevents the Bengals with interceptions of Joe Burrow like 3 or 4 this season, you're going to still tell me it's a good move?
For Pittsburgh, it is.
Don't listen to him. But again, I was okay with I'm okay with like Jalen Ramsey. He can slide up and like help any team in the NFL. But Fitzpatrick, I was shocked.
Why do you like Fitzpatrick so much? You talking about Fitzpatrick like Fitzpatrick is him? Like
Pittsburgh,
he just died.
The Bengals have a better
chance
chance now to win the division over Pittsburgh than if Fitzpatrick was there.
Fitzpatrick's one of the top safeties in the league. What are you talking about? Right? Am I wrong?
28 years old.
Why they trade him
incredible.
Then? Why they trade him then? If he's the top safety in the league, why they trade him?
I think that's what we're missing. I mean, unless you're watching intently Pittsburgh Steelers games every week.
He had 2 more years on his
deal. Well, he's one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
He may have been at one time. Jalen Ramsey was probably one of the best corners in the league. You guys keep saying he's not the player he was. Who is?
Mm-hmm.
So even if his plays declined some, he's still
I don't
want to
be a player no more.
So anyway, I mean, I'm sure we can agree to disagree, but I trust the fact that the people in Pittsburgh know where Minkah Fitzpatrick is in his game more than anyone else, and that they feel that this is a good move. And overall, maybe the Jonnu Smith part is really the real linchpin in this whole thing. Is that was, hey, you have to get him back. If you want Minkah back, we want Jonnu along with Jalen Ramsey, and we'll make the deal. And they just were, they had to get rid of him. He was just not going back.
Hey, Lou, Lou, what do we know? We just guys on the podcast. We don't know nothing about this, Lou. We just talking.
Well, some. I mean, you watch him play and so forth, but I can't sit here and say that I do watch the Steelers some.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to say that I've gone through every game just to see, hey, what's going on with 39 back there, they know. So it's not like he's horrible, but maybe his play has fallen off. And in a couple of years, when they have to pay him top dollar, they're not going to do it. So why not get something for him now?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There it is.
Well, speaking of some top dollar, and paying for it now or then, let's get into the topic of the day. Go ahead, Lou. Read the topic of the day.
So evidently, Isiah Pacheco is in the last year of his deal. This is his 4th year on his rookie contract. We'd like to say here on this show that the contract year is undefeated.
The year.
Which basically means that, the player is ultimately motivated to have a huge year. They're going to put up big numbers because, hey, it's either make or break right now. So I guess we'll talk about this in particular and see where it goes with Isiah. I think the fact that he's in his 4th year and there's been no extension even discussed, that tells us all we need to know. But with a loaded running back room, you got Kareem Hunt. Okay, let's forget about Kareem Hunt. Let's say a loaded running back room with Elijah Mitchell. You drafted Brashard Smith, and now Pacheco's sitting there coming off an injury. He did come back at the end of the year. I get that. But is he still can he still be the lead back? Nick.
Well, I mean, I'll give him props for this. He has worked his tail off in the offseason. He seems to be injury-free. He seems to be in the best shape of his career, and I think he took it seriously. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, he graduated from college, which is even the biggest prize of all.
Absolutely.
So, kudos to him for going back to school at Rutgers and getting his degree.
Absolutely.
So for me, when I look at Pacheco, obviously rookie year, outstanding. First half of his sophomore year was pretty good, and then it kind of declined. And then the injuries last year. And then if you look at the whole situation with, bringing Kareem Hunt off the couch, drafting Smith, which we'll get into here in a little bit. I think for Pacheco, it's make or break. Now, me personally, if he has a really strong camp, I would consider moving him in a trade. I really would. If they feel like Mitchell and Hunt and Smith can be that trio of running backs that allows Carson Steele to maybe still stay on the roster, the Chiefs aren't going to carry 4 backs, so it's going to be 3. And they're going to carry 4 tight ends, so there's probably not going to be room for a fullback on this roster. So for me, if Pacheco is lights out, if he's lights out, in training camp and in the preseason games, does that make him the best fit overall? He still has issues, being a guy that can, do blocks, and they didn't use him enough in the screen game, which I think that's going to be a big part of this offense going forward. But for me, man, the Chiefs better be awful damn sure that they're getting that rookie version of him before they invest in, making him the number one back again. And I'm not sure that's possible.
Now I'm looking at it, the contract year, and the contract year is always undefeated, right? It is because like it seems like out of nowhere these guys want to play hard and everything else. So if he comes out, and proves that, hey, even though we got Kareem Hunt, we know we got when the other runner back from the 49ers now, so Smith, if he comes out and takes it very serious, and can he be the lead back in the backfield? I don't know. That's gonna be a tough slate, because like Lou said, if we knew something, the contract will be extended, and they will say, But again, the way that his style is playing and everything else, you just don't know. So I think, with Smith is coming on, the hype train around him, around the whole NFL is thinking about Smith coming out of coming from college, and Chiefs got in the 7th round, just like they got Isiah Pacheco. So I feel like, can he be still the lead back? Possibility, but I'll say no. Go ahead, Jerry.
I'm gonna say he can, because the first 2 seasons when he was with Kansas City, he averaged almost around 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? He averaged about 4 points some carry. So I do think Pac has it in him. He just got to be more patient. He got a lot of spark. He is a real polished back. His receiving, he has his best receiving year was in 2023, I believe. But can he be the guy? I believe he can. I really believe he can, because he was hurt. He was banged up. I think, with a better offense line now, if the offense line gets better, if it's better production in the offensive line, you're going to see a big year from Pac. So I would definitely agree. I think Pac will be the leading back. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe he can, but it's up to him, because now he's healthy now. Like I said, he didn't take a decline. He just got hurt. So I do believe he can be the leading back.
Well, he's shown that he can do it. And I also believe that he's overachieved. I mean, he was really the benefactor of Clyde just not being that guy, right? Yeah. So he had every opportunity to do it, and he seized it, and he did really well with it. Now, is that good enough for what the Chiefs need in the backfield? In my mind, probably not. And I'll stick by the original statement, is that if they thought that he was like this super running back, I mean, you're talking about one of these elite guys, because those are the only guys that are getting paid. I mean, we can say all we want about return to the running game and all the running backs are getting paid. Well, they have 2 or 3 of them are getting paid, like Saquon and Derrick Henry and some other guy, and not many. Christian McCaffrey, there might be some others. I think Josh Jacobs got paid, and really it's just a handful.
Yeah.
So I think the league still looks at it as kind of like a fungible position. You can find guys. And the fact that a guy that's a little bit, shiftier, like an Elijah Mitchell, a little bit more speed, a little bit more of a versatile back, if he is healthy, that's going to be some steep competition. I believe that Brashard Smith can be one of those guys. I don't think they're going to put him in as RB1 immediately, but I think he's going to get a lot of touches, regardless of when he plays, first down, second down, third down, whatever, whenever they play him. If he's able to show that he can get the checks, do the pass protection, he is going to get every opportunity to be that guy as well. So this, more than likely, I mean, I would think it would be a huge upset. The odds are against that Pop's being back next year. That part of it also figures into it, because, hey, we're going to run him, in all the toughest situations. We're going to give him as many carries as he can handle, to basically give him an opportunity to not just produce for this team, but give him an opportunity to maybe catch on with another team next year. But as far as the Chiefs are concerned, I don't think the running back position, they're investing a ton into it in terms of percentage of the cap. So I think this is it for him. Can he be the number one guy? Yes, but only if the other 2 guys that I mentioned don't step up and show that they're healthy enough to do it.
Yep.
So get to the some of the questions on that topic, Nick.
All right, so let's see. Crystal Lee, he's the 2-time Super Bowl champion, and I believe they should pay him a fair price because they drafted and developed him.
Hello.
That's one thing. Ikoe, thanks for coming on board,
Ikoe.
man. We really appreciate that. Let's see. As far as the anonymous Mango goes, I still draft a young buck next year, make Bouchard number 1 in 26. Keep the better player out of Mitchell and Hunt. Now, Mitchell and Hunt are both 1-year guys. So basically, the outside of Bouchard Smith, the entire running back room is on a 1-year deal. Let's see. Kathy Welch, guys knowing running backs have shorter career. Why 4-year deals? Not short-term 1st to 4-year deals with money. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the. I don't think he's going to get the coin from the Chiefs. So there you go. That's kind of where we are. Yes, we would like to have the Nigerian Nightmare back. That would be great.
So let's get to the next question, Luke.
He's like 40 some odd years old, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
something
so
low.
can Pops improve his receiving skills to become a 3-down threat?
Yeah, I mean, he's always shown the ability to be able to catch the ball. He's always shown the ability to, to do well in open spaces. And I think that's what they have to do. I do think as much as we're going to focus on the Chiefs wide receivers this year, I think the passing game to the running backs is going to be a much bigger thing for this offense, because then it just opens everything else with Travis Kelce and the receivers, Noah Gray, all these kinds of options for Kansas City offensively. So I think that's why they have kind of like, they've got a set of running backs that have a lot of certain skills, and it's going to be who can be that 3-down guy. We know Hunt can be a 3-down guy, but he's 30 years old. We know he can block. Pacheco, I think he blocks okay, and he's done pretty good. We don't know what Smith can do at all, and we certainly don't know what Mitchell can do, though we do know for the first time in 3 seasons, Mitchell's 100% healthy. So, I think for Pacheco, yeah, if his receiving skills are solid, that gives him an advantage. The screen game is going to be huge. Think Jamal Charles kind of offense. I think that's what Andy Reid's going to do, and I think they have that with potentially Mitchell and with Smith, and also with Pacheco. So yeah, I think his chances would improve if he shows the ability to, make the plays in the passing game.
Yeah, because him coming out the backfield, we all know everybody kind of knock him on it, but he kind of knock on the shot. Even Eric B.M. knocked him on too. Is not running into the open holes. But if he can come out and improve his passing game, his pass blocking and catching out the backfield, his training camp, and he showed that, hey, this contract year will be undefeated for me, and the bag is on the table for me, Isiah Pacheco. If it's not for the Kansas City Chiefs, if it's not for the team that drafted me, it's other teams I'm going to be showcasing my talent to as well, because I'll be hitting free agency. So if I'm him coming out in training camp, I'm showing that I worked on my pass blocking skills. I'm coming in, I'm showing that I can catch out the backfield. I'm going to be a whole new human being for the last year of my contract and getting that bag. So can he be that true third down back if he come down to catch it? Because he got the size, 218. He got the size to be a every down running back. It's just those 2 things that's a knock on him. And the third one as well, running into the holes and not have been a good catcher and not have been a good pass blocker, or they want to go get Kareem Hunt off the back off his couch. What you have to say, Coach Dre?
I think he can be it. I mean, like, my man put up like 244-yard receiving in 2023. He did pretty good in 2022. He can do it. Just open up the playbook, put him in position for more screens, because he's very elusive. He got a lot of bounce. He got a lot of bounce on him. I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? He put the man outside in the open field, he's going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? It's just giving him the opportunity to do it. Like, he's been in this system for going on 4 years now. I'm pretty sure he's going to get better. I'm pretty sure he is better. So just give him the opportunity. Throw the ball to him more, and then we'll see. But, stats don't lie. Yeah, like I said, he almost had 300 yards, man. You know what I'm saying? 2023. So, like I said, he got hurt. He got hurt last year, so we really couldn't see that. But I do believe Pac got it in him. I do believe it.
Yeah, I think he's got the physical ability to do it. I think he is kind of somebody that other guys gravitate towards. great attitude. He's like the Energizer Bunny. So he gets people hyped up as well. And you'd like to have guys like that on your team. But, again, can he show consistent hands? I mean, that's the issue, is where you do see where he does struggle with some of the passes when he did. There were some routes called for him. So those are things that you do when nobody's looking in the off season, whether it's using the jugs gun, catching passes from some other quarterbacks or whoever you're training with, whatever, if Patrick's not around or any of the other quarterbacks are around. So doing those sorts of things, did he do enough of that? Probably. I'm sure he put in the time. He knows what his weaknesses were, and I'm sure he worked on them very hard. So we'll see. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. That's going to be, one of those positions where there's a lot more competition than I think most people give it credit for. I think you got 3 or 4 guys that are vying for, their lives pretty much, at the NFL level. Now, Brashard's got a little bit of a leg up because he was a draft choice, but he was a 7th round draft choice. So everybody's
just
on the
like
line.
Brashard Smith.
No fooling around.
So let's get into some of those questions, Nick.
Let's see. Let me go back here. Let's see. Kathy Welch again. I do like Hunt. Wish he'd spent his whole career here. Anonymous Mango. First play of the year is going to be a wheel route to Brashard Smith. I'm all in for that. Brashard Smith is dangerous in the screen game. Let's see. Crystal Lee. The true competition is not 29 or 30. It's between Pacheco and Mitchell. Hey, Crystal, I don't disagree with you. I think you make an excellent point. Mitchell hasn't played at a high level in 2 seasons. He's going to have a lot of opportunity here to have a chance. There's no lock he's going to make the roster, but yeah, I think Hunt's making the team 100%. Obviously, Smith is, and maybe that third back is between those two. So you make an excellent analysis.
Let's get to the next question.
There it is.
Okay, so how will the addition of Brashard Smith affect Pacheco's role and production?
Well, I think the biggest key for me, who's calling on the phone? I think the biggest thing for me is
shut your mouth.
That's right.
How well he can assimilate Andy Reid's playbook. I talked to a couple of people who watched him in OTAs and minicamp, and one of the things they noticed about him is he's still trying to grasp the magnitude and the style of this offense and all the components to it. Now, Andy Reid's playbook is, 3, 4, 5 inches thick. So there's a lot of plays in which you're going to have to assimilate, understand, process, because they're not only asking to be a runner, a pass catcher, and a blocker. And these are all things he's going to have to learn how to do. But, I saw something on ESPN today where they thought he was the steal of the draft in his potential to be a future star. And that's the entire draft. That's not just the 7th round. They weren't referring to him in that regard. They just think this kid is special. We all think this kid is special. But then again, he only did it 1 year at SMU, but he did it in a really big way. And he basically carried them into the NCAA football playoffs because of his skill set and mindset and his attitude. So for me, yes, he should be able to function at a high level once he's comfortable in the offense, which I think is going to come somewhere more mid-season than the beginning of the season. So until then, yeah, Pacheco's going to have to really shine to keep him off the field.
Yeah, and plus being in the contract year, like we say on the show, it's undefeated. But again, you got all this behind you. You got Kareem Hunt still trying to prove that he's still worthy of a start. Then you got Mitchell coming in and say, "Hey, I got injured. I still can show that I can shine too, and I'm on a 1-year deal as well. So the contract year is undefeated for him as well. So he's gonna try to play his hardest. Then you got Mr. Smith coming in for the 7th round, the same round that you got drafted in as well, saying, "Hey, I can be the next Isiah Pacheco. Mm-hmm. I can come in and be the number 1 starter in a couple of games. I can be the guy that can come out as well." But it's gonna like you said. If he ain't picking up the playbook very well, if he's, if the weight too large on his shoulders, because everybody's saying he's the steal of the draft on ESPN, and we putting a lot of weight. I know the kid have a lot of weight on him right now, but again, that's gonna be another man that, like when Isiah Pacheco came in and said, I'm taking a grown man's job, it's going to be a lot of men on the running back room try to take your job. And a rookie as well. So in this contract can it predict his role? I think not. If he's come in focused, and highly motivated for this training camp, and we see a different Isiah Pacheco, like a lot of people said, he lost some weight going back to 218. If he can come out and show that, hey, I can block in, catch out the backfield as well, I think he probably can, ride on his contract year and on to the heavens, get paid by somebody else. But I don't think it's going to stop anything that he got playing going on. What about you, Coach?
Man, right now you got Hunt, you got Pac, you got Smith, you got Mitchell, then you got Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got 4 backs, but they're gonna go with it. Nobody worrying about alligator, man. So listen, we ain't working about Crocodile Dundee. Now, I'm gonna say this: you got 3 legit backs, man. Like I said, this is rookie year, right? We got guys that knows the offense, that knows the system right now. I know everybody hyping up Smith. He's he's very fast and elusive, but you got to know the playbook first, my man. You got to know the playbook first, right? So here's the thing: I think right now, yes, it's gonna put like more spice into training camp, because let's face it, guys, that's what we want. We want competition. We want to see who's going to be the best, at that position on the field. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what we think. It's about what do we see on the field. You know what I'm saying? So for right now, I love it. I love the situation, man. It's going to really help Pac out for real, because it's going to really put that sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? It's going to light a fire under his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it played a big role for him. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I do believe Pac is going to have a great year this year.
Yeah, I think regardless of what Pops does in this camp, I think it's definitely going to have an effect on his overall production, because you're going to see more guys getting touches and getting the opportunity to show what they can do. I'm just going to be fascinated in camp to see really how they divvy out the reps, because that'll start to give you an idea at first, kind of like where things stand. And then as you go into week 1, week 2, week 3, maybe then it starts to shift a little bit. So you'll see that, Burchard is picking things up. So he starts getting a little, few more reps. If Elijah Mitchell still has the burst and has the speed and he's healthy, all that, you got to say, hey, he looks really, really good. Pop's looking incredible because it's the contract year and he did everything right in the off season and he's healthy and the legs better. Everything's cool. So yeah, to Coach's point, that's the best case scenario. And then they just have to make a decision who is going to be the guy. But again, I don't know that it's that big of a deal. You're going to have a shared division of labor, as Mike Tomlin puts it, I don't know that it's going to be like Pop's getting 300 carries or any one of them getting, maybe 150
Whoever
is
got
really a lot, 150, 200 carries tops, for the big guy, the guy that's supposedly the starter. But I think it's a good situation. I think it's definitely a much stronger group and room than they had last season for sure. A lot more burst, a lot more breakaway type speed, a lot more big playability, and that's kind of what their offense is looking for. And I'm just excited to see how they kind of break it down during the course of the summer.
Yeah, a couple of comments here. Let's not forget that Burchard Smith was a running back before switching to wide receiver when he went to Miami. Then he went back to running back when he went to SMU. Also reminds a lot of Damian Williams. Kathy Welch, guys, he may look a little like Jamal Charles, and Crystal Lee chimed in on that. In due time, Andy Reid is going to use him like Charles. They have similar measurables. Charles was a little heavier and Smith is a little faster, but comparable. I don't know, man. Sweetheart.
I don't know.
Crystal was
pretty
Crystal
quick.
Jamal was pretty fast, especially after that knee surgery. If you watch that 86-yard run against New Orleans Saints on his second game back from somehow getting through ACL surgery in less than 9 months and being full speed was absolutely incredible. But yeah, I see the same thing. I think he's going to be developed into that Jamal Charles type of guy. And I think Andy's going to take his time. But if he shows off that he can handle the offense and he can be that, work with the number ones, here's what I want to see. We kind of know what Pacheco could do. We know what Kareem Hunt can do. We don't know what Mitchell and Smith can do. And I want to see them play with Patrick Mahomes in the first team. I want to see what they can do. I don't like this. Put him out there with a second or third string team. Listen, if you think he can be productive, he's got to play with the big boys, the big offensive line and the big time quarterback.
You got to earn those snaps.
You got to earn those snaps. I think that's
those snaps, man.
The mistakes that they made last year with some of the players that they were counting on. They just didn't get enough reps with Patrick. And I know you're trying to limit Patrick, and I know what you're trying to do. But if Brashard Smith and Elijah Mitchell are going to be those speed home run guys, they need to play with Patrick Mahomes, not just in practice and do the wheel routes and make the plays. We need to see it pads on pads against a team that wants to go out there and prevent you from making those kinds of plays.
All right, let's get to the next question, Lou.
Will Pop's aggressive running style lead to more injuries, or can he stay healthy for a full season?
Excellent question, because his rookie year, I think he got banged up for a game or two. His sophomore year, I think he was banged up missed 3 or 4 games, maybe more, I think, with a hamstring issue. And then obviously the surgery this last year, he did come back, but he wasn't 100%, throughout the time. So yeah, that's the other factor you have to look into. Now, the Chiefs were depleted at running back, and that's why they went and got Kareem Hunt, off the couch, as we talked about 1,000 times, including twice on the show already. But I think for me, can he stay healthy? Again, he's in the best shape of his career. I think his mindset is right. I think he understands, as Hense says, the contract year is always undefeated. And I think he's going to have a mentality that, I've got to stay healthy. If I'm going to make an impact on this team, if I'm going to keep my career going in Kansas City, if I'm going to beat out Mitchell and I'm going to beat out Smith, then, I got to be healthy. So, I don't know what he did in the offseason to train, but he looks in incredible shape, and if he has that right mindset, then I think, yeah, absolutely. If he stays healthy and he can prove to be aggressive in that running style, make better decisions at the line of scrimmage as far as dipping in and dipping out of the holes or being more patient, yeah, those are all positives for him, and it's going to give him a chance to make the team.
Yeah, I think his more aggressive running style, it kind of leaves him running the wrong, hitting the wrong holes as well. Now, I feel like if he don't tone it up and get more of that patient style of Priest Holmes, Le'Veon Bell or those type of guys, I feel like his style of running can lead to more injuries and more key bang ups and key moments and stuff like that as well. So if I know everybody have their style way of playing, but the way he runs and the way he plays the games is a little more aggressive than any other running back that I didn't see so far.
Oh man, that's just who Pac is. Pac just runs like that. He runs aggressive, man. Everybody got their style running. All these backs got their own way of running the ball. If you look at Barry Sanders back in the day, juking and jiving, moving around, you can tear your ACL, you can tear your joints doing that.
Kareem just don't stop. He said he runs like a deer blind on ice.
So here's the thing: is Pac. He just aggressive. Every running back has problems. Like Nick Chubbs, look at Nick Chubbs. You know what I'm saying? He been popping his kneecaps all the goddamn time. So to me, Pac just keep doing what Pac needs to do. My biggest thing with Pac is just be patient and know when to be explosive. Be patient when you get to the line, learn when to be explosive out the holes. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm not too much worried about that.
Yeah, that's kind of like the age-old question in terms of guys that can you change your style once you get to the highest level of football, right? I mean, Le'Veon Bell, you saw him a little bit. He was, I don't want to say he ran like Pops. He was at Michigan State, but the kind of hesitation and just kind of being overly patient,
one of one,
and so forth. And he had sort of that ability to do that. Now Pops is all gas, no brakes.
Yeah,
that's to Coach's point. That's who he is. So it's going to be nearly impossible to kind of take part of that away from him. can he improve his vision? I'm sure there's drills that you can do, and I'm sure that the running back coaches are like beating their heads against the wall, trying to help him with that. But at a certain point, you are who you are. So I don't know that ever changes. So he's just, does he get injured? Yeah. I mean, he's going to get beat up. That's just the way he plays. So you just hope that he stays healthy. And you also got to be confident in the fact that you've got 3 other guys that can handle the load. Now, the thing that I worry about with Kareem Hunt,
That's right.
is that you're not going to
Kareem in the chat.
If you need, they say, like, if you need 3 yards, he's going to get you 3 yards. If you need 5 yards, he's going to get you 3 yards. So there's not a whole lot of burst to his game anymore. But maybe with the off season, he shows a little bit different.
Yeah.
But typically, you don't see guys get quicker or faster the older they get. So. So in terms, again, just focusing on this question, he's going to play his style. I don't know that it changes. So does he get hurt? I mean, it's a coin flip. I mean, there's a real good chance he's going to get hurt again, but I'm confident that the other guys will more than pick up the slack and maybe find different styles of offense that they can run.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Nick Slyman makes a good point. Le'Veon Bell also had one of the best offensive lines. And for the Chiefs, they haven't had a dominating offensive line for their running backs. So Pops has kind of had to deal with injuries, constant movement, guys playing different positions, then battling, the injuries and all that stuff too. So, listen, we all know that running backs are successful when they get into a rhythm. I mean, Jamal Charles said, give me the rock. I got to touch the ball 20 to 25 times. Kareem Hunt used to say that all the time. Le'Veon Bell, who, I compare him to for his shiftiness and his patience, Barry Sanders, Marcus Allen. I think those are the 3 best to do it at the running back position, where they just were so patient at the line of scrimmage. And then they just made the play. And they all had one thing in common. They had amazing, amazing offensive lines. And so that has a lot to do with it too. So I think that, Pops is going to be given every opportunity. The Chiefs know what he can do when he's healthy. They know what he can do in the right mindset and the right attitude, as he did in his rookie year coming out of Rutgers, a late 7th round pick, and he just came in and he was better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire from day one, and so they put him out there and he did a really great job, and he helped him win a back-to-back Super Bowls. Let's not discard that. He was responsible for that, so or contributing factor to going back to back. So I think those are definitely, I think that's something to look at.
All right. Let's get to the last question, Luke.
So with this being the contract year, will the pressure help him elevate his game, or will it be a distraction?
I don't think it's going to be a distraction for him. I think the way that he attacked his offseason, again, graduating college at Rutgers, getting his degree, we've seen a lot of workout videos. He looks like he's leaned down a little bit. It looks like, he's 100%. He's removed from all the pain and the issues he had with his surgically repaired leg. So I think that I don't think it's going to be a distraction for him, because I don't think the guy thinks like that. He is a very positive person. He's a very likable player. He's great in the locker room. The players love him. They all know what he can do. They all speak very highly of him. And so I think he's going to get a lot of support and a lot of love and a lot of opportunity, to show that he can be that guy. And if he is that guy, great. The offense is better. The offense is good, because a productive Isiah Pacheco and a productive Kareem Hunt and a productive Mitchell or Smith are good things for the Kansas City Chiefs offense. So I think for me, I don't think he's going to take on any pressure. I don't think he's going to feel like it has anything to prove, or that the contract's going to bother him. I think he's very realistic in his approach. Hey, I get 4 years in Kansas City. I want to make the most of my opportunity. I'd love to stay here, but if I can't, I'm going to go out and make the Chiefs have a tough decision to make, not only for playing time, but to keep me next year. That's his attitude.
Yeah, I think that's his attitude as well. He going into this year with his contract year. Like I said before, you show what you can improve in preseason. You show what you can improve in training camp. And you come out this year, you say, hey, I don't care if you got Smith, Batman, and Robin behind me. The money bag isn't right in front of me. I'm just going to go take the bag, and I'm going to show that, hey, if you don't decide to turn, this 7th round into one of the, highest, one of the top paid running backs, I'm going to make sure another team out there is looking at my tape and they can say, hey, I want to bring in Isiah Pacheco. I want to see what else he can do in his young career. Because, hey, Trey Smith turned his 6th round pick into about to be one of the highest paid, right guards in the league. You know what I mean? So if Isiah Pacheco say, I was drafted in the 7th round, this is my contract year. I know I got Smith, Hunt, 30 years old on his way out. I got Bashard Smith that everybody, likes, because he's the backup. He's the new weapon, the new shiny toy. He's the Buzz Lightyear into Andy's room. And
no license plate number on that toy.
He don't like to play on that number on that toy. So hey, he's the new guy that everybody wants. Everybody wants to see that. I think Isiah Pacheco, if he can come out here and then show that, hey, the pressure's not too heavy for me. I'm still gonna, I deliver 2 Super Bowls to you guys. You know what I mean? I think he could probably get, it won't be too much pressure on me going forward.
Oh, most definitely ain't no pressure on Pac the contract year. I mean, every player in the NFL has to do what they need to do in the contract year because this your money. Like this got to feed your family. So I feel like that's a natural. Like I said, just bring a competition with Pac, man. Pac is going to elevate. I think Pac's going to be the best version of Pac. Because we said the same thing about BowTie. BowTie contract year. He started off kind of fluffy. Then hey, the last couple of weeks, he started playing like the guy we know he can play like. Like, honestly, I think Pac is going to come out here and be a 3rd down guy. He's going to have more receiving yards this year. He's going to be very patient this year. I think Pac's going to have a great year. A great year, man. So I think this is going to elevate him for real. It is.
Yeah, Pops is a 7th round pick coming to a Super Bowl team. So, I mean, the pressure has been on him since day one.
Exactly.
So I don't know that it's really going to be a huge difference. Now, how he handles it, I'm sure in his 4th year is going to be a little bit better than, how he handled it coming up. And he handled it very well those first few years. So I don't think there's anything to this where all of a sudden he's going to go into a shell because, oh my God, I can't do whatever. No, that's not him. The other piece of it, again, you've got guys that can do multiple different things. So I go back to my original statement in terms of how the carries are going to be, divvied up in training camp. To Nick's point, how many? I'm sure they're going to want to work in each of them with the ones just to kind of see how that goes and not just rely on the reps they get with the 2s and 3s and so forth. Much like, I guess I would almost liken it to the quarterback position in Cleveland right now, is that you've got a couple of an older veteran, a little bit younger veteran, and then you got a couple of rookies. And how they divvy up those reps is really going to be important. Whether it's how many reps is Shedeur Sanders going to get with the first team? What does he have to do to earn those reps? By the same token, what does Burchard have to do to earn those first team reps? What does Elijah Mitchell have to do? I think there's a lot more film on Elijah Mitchell. They probably have a plan for him already. So again, regarding Pops, 7th round pick coming to a Super Bowl team, nothing is guaranteed. You're a 7th round pick. I mean, just a small portion of that contract is guaranteed. So it's not like, he was guaranteed a position at any time during this whole thing. So he's kind of been playing with that the whole time. So I don't think it's going to be any different. I think he'll do fine with that part of it.
Yeah. So go ahead and get some of these questions because that was the last question of the day.
All right, let's see. Someone brought up bring back Luis Rees-Zammit. Nope, that's not going to happen.
I keep seeing tweets out there. He's given this another two years or so, then he's going to go back to rugby if it doesn't blow up for him.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, they'll treat him like CEH and Hardman on 1-year contracts. Let's see. Let's trade for Bjorn instead of Fielding running back. Okay, all right. Let's keep it
That's
civil.
That's Bijan Robinson,
Bijan
one of
Robinson.
the top 3 backs in the league right now. So yeah, that would be nice on a rookie contract. Yeah, I'm sure Atlanta would be all
we're
over
in
that.
luck. San Francisco still has guys. In the
So
roster
what do you
we can
guys
poach.
think? What I don't know if it's stats or whatever it ends up being, or in your mind's eye, what would make a successful season for Pops?
Ooh, it's a good question. I think a successful season is he plays like he did in his rookie year and he gets, 1,000 yards, scores 5 or 6, 7 touchdowns, has maybe 300 yards, 400 yards receiving. Then it's going to be a tough decision for Kansas City. Listen, if Pacheco just turns back into that player, him and Smith together would be pretty dynamite to watch. There you got 2 guys. If he can develop to be that banger guy like Kareem Hunt is, so he can get that 2 or 3 yards on 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2. And then you got a guy like Smith, and they both have top shelf speed. I mean, that's a great problem to have. We've seen around the league, look at the Lions. What, they got 3 running backs that are all really, really good. You see a lot of teams that have 2 to 3 running backs. So, I think ultimately that's what Andy Reid wants out of his offense. He wants to be able to have 2 or 3 guys that he can rotate in and out. But
you see what the Cleveland Browns did? They drafted, 3 running backs. What was
you got Chubb, and then you got Hunt, and I mean they were their terrific combination, and they were kind of semi-similar in how they ran the ball, caught the ball, and blocked. So yeah, I think long term, Pacheco and Smith. If Pacheco can play at a higher level than he's played in the past and stay healthy and is productive, this is a great problem for the Chiefs to have.
I think, honestly, for me, it'll be 500 yards receiving, 800 yards on the ground.
A lot of reception
average. I'm just saying, like, really, like, go out there and really, like, be the answer for the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? We know about Rice, we know about Worthy and Kelsey and all that other nonsense. But you really get him out there, man, being a receiving threat out there, man. Put up 500 yards, 800 on the ground, and give me 4 or 5 yards per carry. That's a hell of a season. That's a hell of a season.
Crystal thinks 800 yards all purpose and 7 touchdowns, and I think the Chiefs would take that in a heartbeat. I would.
Yeah. Hey.
I'll say he put up 1,000 yards rushing, 300 receiving yards, and make it where it won't be you're gonna have to sign me, or I'm the answer. I'm the cow's bell. I'm the guy that you want to go to when you need the touchdowns and everything else on this field. So if he could come out and prove that, he's viable in the pass blocking game and catching as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd say 1,000 yards, 300 yards. I ain't worrying about the TDs. 1,000 yards, 300 yards receiving. Then we talk.
Yep.
Yeah, to me, I'm not thinking so much stats. I think if he shows just an ability maybe to show that he has a little bit of improved vision, that he does have better hands, more reliable as a receiver, and just is efficient, I think that gets him another contract in the NFL, whether it's here or somewhere else.
Correct.
I don't think it's, no matter how well he does, I don't know that he is going to get big money from anyone, just because of the way the position goes. And you saw that, Hense mentioned it. The Browns said, well, hell, when we were at our best, we had Chubb and Hunt, and they both were eating. So let's go out and get
it all over again.
Dylan Sampson and Jeff Judkins from Ohio State, and let's try to kind of recreate that same situation. I think most teams look at the running back position that way, unless you have just one of those studs like a Bijan, like Henry or Saquon, or some of the other, McCaffrey when he's healthy, Jonathan Taylor when he's healthy. And that's the thing, is what if you got one of those guys and you don't invest a lot in a backup, that guy gets hurt. Now it just gets a little kludgy, and you're not really running at the same efficiency. So you like to have 2 or 3 guys that can be a lead dog if needed be. So I would say that in terms of Pop's successful season, again, a little improved vision, show the ability to catch passes, pick up the blitzes. And I think that gets him another contract in the league. And that would, to me, would be success for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that said,
good problem to have.
Great problem to have. So with that said, guys, that was our Monday show. We talked about Jalen Ramsey and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we talked about the contract season is undefeated for Isiah Pacheco. What did Kareem say?
The wide receiver core is going to give him 5 yards untouched. You should all expect 1,310 TDs. Wow, nice for Kareem. That offensive line and that wide receiver group is going to be pretty damn good.
Hey, you see how Kelsey and everybody hyping up Josh Simmons. So we'll see.
They certainly are. I'm going to have some news. I'm going
to
have some news on the offensive line on Wednesday's show. So come join us.
Oh boy,
I have.
We're not going back. We still live. We got a special guest that's covering a show on Tuesday. Go ahead and explain what it is, Lou.
All right. So if any guys saw the tweet today, Adam Teicher put out, says he's got no more Chief stories to tell. Well, I tweeted back and said, well, hopefully you have a few more you can repeat, because he is going to be coming on with us in a special edition of the Four Guys in a Bar, and we'll be talking to Adam Teicher, the 30 years or however many years he's been, covering the Chiefs, which is kind of an unprecedented number. I'm sure there are other guys in local markets that have done it, but he did it to KC Star, did it with ESPN for the latter half of his career. So we're excited to have him. Hopefully you guys can tune in and just check it out. See what a guy that was kind of in the middle of it all for 30 years has to say, what kind of stories he's willing to repeat.
All right. See you guys with